Welcome to the LAP podcast series Simply Precise. I am Sabrina Dehati, and for our first episode, we invited Steve Imber from OIS to tell us about the long-standing partnership with LAP and how that came about. For those who do not know LAP, here's just a short introduction. LAP is one of the world's leading suppliers of systems that increase quality and efficiency through laser projection, laser measurement, and other processes. LAP's market-leading laser systems are used for patient positioning in radiation therapy processes worldwide. Their phantoms and software are designed for precise, reliable testing for a wide range of quality assurance tests in radiation therapy. And this is also the topic we focus on today: radiation therapy. Hi, Steve. I'm very glad to have you here in this very first episode of our podcast. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you, Sabina. It's a lovely day, and yeah, it's quite exciting to be involved in your podcast.
Yeah, I'm a little bit excited too, I have to admit, but I think we'll work it out.
Good, yeah. I have to say I'm a little bit nervous, but let's see how it goes, and hopefully it's really interesting for people to hear.
Can you maybe, first of all, tell me a bit about yourself? How did you come to work in RT and why?
Okay, so this is going back quite a long way now, but I originally started my career as a telecoms apprentice,
Mm-hmm.
but the apprenticeships were cut short by 2 years, so I found myself needing a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was given a job by a friend making circuit boards and electronic devices for use in medical physics, where we were making radiation detectors and monitors for healthcare. So I started doing that at the age of 17, and I did that
Mm-hmm.
for a number of years.
That's a very young age as well.
It was a very young age. I was not very good at school.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my favorite place to be, but I really loved electronics and I loved hands-on and working with devices. So this job was really, really good for me. And I stayed there for a number of years,
Mm-hmm.
moving through different department to different department. And one side of the business was involved in making radiation detectors for radiotherapy. So I got my first taste of radiotherapy equipment in probably the year 1990, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I spent a few years doing that. And eventually, somebody in the company asked me if I wanted to go into sales. So I then started working with hospitals directly, where we were selling radiotherapy treatment planning systems,
Mm-hmm.
radiation detectors, and other associated items for treating patients with cancer.
And it has also been many years that OIS and LAP are working together. Can you give me a brief history of that cooperation? How did you get to know each other? How did the partnership evolve? And what's your status quo right now?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I, as part of my job, I was traveling around Europe visiting various different cancer centers and conferences, and I
Hmm.
met Dr. Armin Roxeisen in 1995, I think it was, in the Estro meeting in Granada.
Okay.
And the company I was working with, we were buying some lasers for
Hmm.
projects that we were involved in. And I had a
Hmm.
look at the PATPOS PCK laser that Armin was presenting on the booth,
Hmm.
and I thought it was amazing. The quality of the engineering, even in 1995, was outstanding, and it was significantly better than we bought from any other company.
Hmm.
So I built a relationship with Armin then, and I then started OAS, Oncology Imaging Systems, in July 1999. And
Hmm.
I'd been in conversation with Armin and other people within LAP, Hans Peter Werner, who and Peter Walters, now both retired. But I spoke with them quite a lot, and we became a distributor from the very first day of trading that Oncology Imaging Systems was doing. And on the first week of the company trading, we sold 12 LAP Apollo lasers for a project with Varian into the North Wales Cancer Centre
That's quite a
in
lot,
the
right?
UK. Yes, it was. It was for a first order in the
Yeah,
first week of trading. It was fantastic. It was
yeah.
really good to get us going. So that was then. That was July 1999,
Mm-hmm.
and now we are coming up. The company will be 22 years old in July, and that is the length of time we have been a distributor for LAP.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been a long time. Seen a lot of changes.
Yeah,
Both companies have grown a lot.
yeah.
We've got a lot more people. LAP has a lot more people, obviously, because it's a much bigger global company than we are. And yeah, the business is really good. We've got a great market share. We've got
Mm-hmm.
some great products, and we've got great people who really get on in both companies. So it's a really congenial business relationship. Actually, really love it.
That sounds really great.
Really love it.
You told me that you were very impressed by the quality of engineering from the LAP lasers. Was that the main reason for you to choose LAP as your partner?
At the time, yes, we needed a product that was better than we've been able to buy from anybody else.
Okay.
And if you if you want to have it as a comparison, it's difficult because one was a very poor quality product, and the LAP one was years ahead of what others were doing. So that was an easy decision. And what we did was we we gave to a clinic a couple of
Mm-hmm.
lasers to evaluate, and they came back and said exactly the same things as I'd said. The quality of the engineering was so significantly better than anything else on the market that what we were going to buy. And that
Mm-hmm.
hospital, 22 years on, is still a massive customer. Every laser that they've got has always been LAP,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been fantastic. The only thing I would add to that is the relationship with Armin was really good because he was a really nice person. He's a great human being, and he's very clever. And
Mm-hmm.
what he did for OAS in its young age was he helped us and mentored us a little bit so we could actually get our business working really efficiently quite quickly. So I'm ever thankful to him for his help.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, yes, the product quality is the main driver.
Okay. So the good relationship between Armin and you and the good quality were the main reasons for you to choose LAP.
Yes, absolutely. The price of the product was a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but
Mm-hmm.
you only get what you pay for.
It was worth it.
Absolutely, 100%. We have never changed our opinion that quality is really important, and that going forwards is the one thing I would tell every company I ever work with: quality, quality, quality.
What would you say makes a good quality in lasers?
Individual components have to be the best that are available. So whether it's the laser diode itself, or the bracket that it sits on, or the adjustment screws,
Mm-hmm.
whichever component it is, right down to the very basic level, everything needs to be the best available for that product, because long-term stability, low failure rate, low service costs are all really vitally important in the future of equipment sales.
I see. Steve, what do you think? What are your hopes for the future with LAP? Do you have any upcoming projects together or anything like that?
I think we have a very bright future. I think LAP is a very clever company with some very clever engineers,
Hmm.
and the engineering and development product in lasers is still the best in the world. I think there's a great potential to evolve those products. And in terms of special projects or anything, we are always involved in more hospital projects. How they're going to evolve into different applications of using radiotherapy lasers, I think, is still an open door. I think
Hmm.
there's still a lot more development work we can do to improve things, in terms of what we're going to use them for clinically. But I think at the moment, the quality of the product and the availability of the product that the customers love is really good. I
Hmm.
think software development is a key.
Hmm.
The continual improvement of the operating devices and the software that uses the lasers, I think, is something to expand on, because I think we don't use it as enough as we could.
Okay. So there's a bit of room to grow?
Absolutely. Always room to grow and always room to improve. Even if you are the number one in the marketplace, complacency is a terrible situation to think about. So you have to continually drive yourself with new innovations, new ideas. Even sometimes if the ideas are not taken on board, you've got to drive a vision forward with ideas-based people, because that's how you make things better.
I think that's a mantra that fits many places in life, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's something that you can take everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Steve, thank you a lot for this little insight in your cooperation.
You're very welcome.
And I was very glad to have you as my first guest.
Me too. Actually, it's really quite cool. I'm really impressed with these. I'm not really a technology wizard when it comes
Yeah,
to things like podcasts and things, but I can see the way forward with these, and I think we are going to look to doing some within our industry as well, in our business.
that's great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Then have a nice day.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to the LAP podcast. We hope you will join us for the next episode, and for more information, visit lap-laser.com.